As COVID-19 cases began to rise, we saw our sales dip dramatically. It wasn't even a trickle, it was a dramatic drop. And we had to plan accordingly. And so we did have to order product, but the 48 hours notice was ridiculous. Give us at least till that Friday to move all of our products so we don't have any waste. It's just mind-boggling to me that you're an elected official, you're a person in power, you are in charge of making these decisions. Have a clear plan. It shouldn't have taken this long to come up with the tier system that we have now. It's a good start. To me, it's an arbitrary start. And it should have been developed way prior. And to isolate bars is ridiculous, because not all bars are created equal. When you're buying a $150 shot of whiskey at Bar Leather Apron, you're gonna behave differently than when you're pounding shots of $5 Jamesons over and over all night. Square barrels would be eligible for an additional $10,000. And that might seem like a lot of money on an individual basis, but when you're running a successful business and you have 20 employees prior to the crisis, $10,000 is not a lot of money. That's not even close to being a quarter of your payroll for the month. The measure that would be the most helpful, not only for Square Barrels, but for business owners in general, is grants and putting that money directly into the pockets of business owners so they can allocate those funds to do what's best for their business. So it's not just you're shutting down restaurants and that's it. The people who deliver our lins, the people who deliver the beer, the brewers that supply all the craft beer on our taps back here, they're pouring their beer down the drain because they're not gonna sell it if it's not up to code. The network that goes into keeping the restaurant industry alive in Hawaii is huge. So I started Be Vocal as a way of channeling my frustration and anger. And so the best way for us to survive this crisis is for us to band together. Large corporations are gonna survive this no matter what, but the people across the street, he might not be able to survive this. And what's gonna happen to that space? It's gonna be filled with graffiti and homelessness. We will literally change the way we walk because we know that that's gonna be a bad area. If people don't continue to come to Hawaii, and it doesn't mean when we reopen tourism that they're immediately gonna rush back. If they don't continue to come to Hawaii and all of these businesses fail, what's gonna happen to our state as a whole? And just because tourism was good prior to the crisis, doesn't mean that's gonna last forever. The worst case scenario is we would have to leave Hawaii for better economic opportunity elsewhere. Because I don't see how we're going to recover fast enough, especially if the projections are correct and we do lose 25,000 businesses. If Mayor Caldwell, Josh Green, and Governor Ige were here right now, I would want them to know about my business is that it's worth keeping it going. And we need to learn to live with this virus. We cannot run from it. By shutting us all down, you are gonna have tremendous consequences of blight, grinding poverty. You are gonna have children that are gonna go without food because they can't get food in their schools. And we need to address how we're going to better take care of our entire population.